4, 3, 2, 1. We are live. Fever win. I was so worried, but they pulled it off. Fever win. They are 2-1. I dream of Caitlin. Caitlin was the dream's nightmare. She is clutch goat. That's all we asked for, man. Stephanie White, I'm ready to marry you, baby. That's all we asked for. We just asked for you to give Caitlin the ball, man, in the clutch. Just give Caitlin the ball. I'm got to check. My name is Jason J. Daniel. I'm trying to check to make sure we are. Oh, there we are. We're live on the internet. We are live on X. We are live on the old Rumble machine. We're live on YouTube. We're doing some Indianafever and Caitlin Clark talk. I got to tell you, God damn, man. Here we go. All right, sorry, I had to do a little sound check there. Guys, what a great game. Fever 2-1. Caitlin Clark is the clutch goat. Caitlin Clark comes out and misses a few free throws. They were so tight. I'm not sure why they were so tight. All of them. They missed a few free throws, but they hit the ones that counted. They hit the most important free throws, the free throws in the fourth quarter that give you the win. This was obviously going to be a game that came down to free throws. And Stephanie White, God bless her soul, understood that. I could see her managing the game in the third, holding on. She had 3 timeouts in the third. She was holding on to her timeouts. She called the perfect timeout in the fourth quarter, set up the perfect play, and Caitlin could not get the shot, but she made the decision to get the ball into the paint, and we had the layup, and we got the lead, and they never let up on that. And then Caitlin got a foul that was very important. They called it a take foul because, or they thought it was a take foul, and I don't know what the Fever were thinking. I mean, they were falling apart. They knew that Caitlin was going to win that game. We'll talk about the psychological advantage that you have when you put the ball in Caitlin Clark's hands at the end of a game when you only have seconds left. It is a major psychological advantage, and that's why when she did the opposite, when Stephanie White did the opposite, the night before last, the Dream had a complete psychological advantage in that moment because they knew Caitlin wasn't on the floor. They knew they'd just deny her getting the ball in and they could win. Stephanie White fixed it. She made all the adjustments she needed to make, and we were really, really happy about that. So, man, thanks for joining me. My name is Jason J. Daniel. I am committed to recapping all of the Fever games. I'm a huge Fever fan. I'm just sorry. I've got to stop. I'm excited. Woo! Wow. Woo! I got to get that out of my system. You know, I thought they were going to win the entire time. When Kelsey Mitchell was 0 for 5 and missed a really critical shot, I was really upset. I was like, I knew it. I knew you'd shoot us out of the fourth quarter. I knew it. And then she came right back and drained. Was it a 3? Man, she drained a shot that just shut me up. It shut me up. I was like, God damn, man. What a phenomenal performance by the team in the fourth quarter. Now, they played a really edgy game. It was really tricky. I'm my own producer, guys, so I need to set up. I'm on Facebook tonight. I need to set up all of my streams. I'm on Facebook tonight. I am on Twitch tonight. I am on X streaming live and also YouTube and Rumble. So thank you guys for being so awesome. The numbers are great. My numbers are great. Now, I had a total meltdown last game. That could be why people watched it. I got thousands of views. I was losing my mind. So thanks, guys. Please sub and follow. Appreciate it again. And my name is Jason J. Daniel. This is the Jason J. Daniel Show. I do a lot of different kinds of podcasts, but tonight we're doing Indianafever talk. So let's get. I don't have a lot of time tonight. I wish I did. I'd really love to talk more about it, but let's get into the box score. Okay, so the box score, we've got the Fever. Okay, so they had an interesting first quarter. They were outscored by 5, Fever 13, Atlanta 18. Second quarter, they were mega responsible for their own destiny and started to put the ball in the basket. They were up 24-18, and then from there, that was it. They never let up. second quarter. They came back. It was a 24-24 quarter, and it was a 2018 fourth quarter, and a lot of those points were clutch and free throws. What can I say? Got a lot of things to say. So let's just get right into it. Now, my thoughts. I'll give you a couple of noteworthy thoughts before I get into my hot game breakdown, my fever breakdown. Okay, so sorry, I'm using this new mic screen because what happened was I was so mad at the last game and I was going crazy, right? And I was just popping and blowing my mic out, and I felt really bad for the people having to watch it. So I got a new mic windscreen thingy. So hopefully it's not a disaster. Hopefully I get all the pops out because I'm passionate. I'm a passionate guy. Man, what a night! What an exciting night! It was a really great night for the FIVA. It was a really good learning experience game, and I hated the announcers. They were really terrible, but they said some things that I thought were really interesting about Caitlin Clark as they were watching her struggle, and they weren't mocking her. Like last year, a lot of the announcers would mock her or say subversive things or just try to put her down, and they were not doing that. They were being really fair to her and holding her accountable as announcers, and I really appreciated that. So they did really well, overall, and that's how you do it. It's tough to lose in the first quarter, points wise, and then come back, but they really played a good game. I know Stephanie White understood this is going to be a close game again. It's going to be a tight game. You got Frankengrinder, who had a really monster all-star game, but they shut Frankengrinder down, which I thought was dope. I think 5 points. Yeah, let's look at this. Frankengrinder had 5 points. Brittany Griner, I call it Frankengrinder for obvious reasons. She's like a put together monster. No, but I have a lot of respect for Frankengrinder. Frankengrinder's tough, man. 24 minutes, 2 for 6. A lot of foul trouble. That's why those minutes were reduced. 33% from the floor. Awesome. Last time was like 69% or something. 0 for 1 at the 3-point line. 50% shooting though at the stripe, and 5 points. So fouled out, which was dope. They did a lot of defense by commission on her, which is what you want. You got Dantas. Dantas came in. I love that. Okay, I didn't get to my noteworthy thoughts. Sorry about that. You know what? Darn it, I didn't even get those ready. We'll skip those. I usually had printed out, but I didn't. But here's kind of what my thoughts were. My thoughts were going into this game. You're only as good as your record. So if they're going to go down to 1-2 this early, then they have a lot of work to do, and we were all going to have to come back down and go, okay, maybe they're not that good, right? Caitlin was due for a monster game. I thought she would have at least 35. I was wrong, but I'm wishful thinking. Caitlin Clark ended the night with 11 points. One of her lowest scoring games of, I think, her career. I think she probably had a 7 or a 10-point game last time. But it's not her fault. It was the referee's fault. There was a lot of point shaving. Sorry. That may be scandalous, but that's true. Let me adjust my chair. Sorry. What? I know, bad podcaster. Okay, yeah, there we go. A little better. So I was thinking Caitlin needed to, Caitlin was going to, I thought she needed to have a statement game, which she did. I really needed Stephanie White to wake up and understand if she coaches another bad game, she's not the coach for this team. And if we were going to have this again where they lose close and Caitlin didn't get the ball, I was going to start to campaign actively for her to be fired, really, because you just don't need that. You need somebody. This is a Lamborghini offense. We know this. But she knew the assignment. Pretty excited about that. And I really was interested in going into this game. I was interested in points in the paint. Interested in that. I also, going into this game, thought that the coach was too distracted by all the Chicago Sky stuff, and I thought, can we just move past that? Everybody else wants to. But so those are my thoughts going into game 2. Let's do the hot game breakdown. Really quick. Dantas was unbelievable. Really important. Colson came in. played really well towards the end of the game. I loved that strategy. I was really concerned last game that we didn't see enough of Coulson, so I really appreciated that strategy. Um, I really thought that the referees were cheating. I did. There are you. If you've been around as long as me, you'll know when referees are trying to shave a game. Point shaving is where you take superstars that score a lot of points, because like you going into a game, you know that these cats are going to blow up, right? So point shaving is when you go in, you start to get the superstars in foul trouble to keep the game low. Did you notice Frankengrinder got in trouble, Boston got in foul trouble, and then Caitlin, of course. And they were calling a lot of fouls early, and a lot of that had to do with the fact the refs were trying to control the points. I didn't think this was going to break 80 points, and I was almost right. When I saw that going down, I'm like, they're trying to keep the under on this game, because remember last game was like there were 90. It was like huge points, right? 90. They almost broke 100 points each. And it was a different officiating crew. They were not officiating it to they just weren't fair on both sides. There was things I saw on both sides. They were letting things go, right? They let Caitlin get a travel when she had I know you might be mad at me, but that fadeaway, that she jump shot on the side that she was needing to get trying to get loose, she took 3 steps on that. And she had a little smile on her face, and they were like, oh yeah, she's talking to the announcer's like, she's talking to the celebrities. No, she knew she got away with the travel. Like, that was clear. But that's okay. You get that. We'll take it. But look, that's not why they won. It's because of the free throws. So I don't have a lot of time tonight. I wish I had more, but so we're going to get into some stuff. So there's your hot game, or your hot breakdown. So Fever are 2-1, and sorry, I'm my own producer, guys. Like I said, referee. One thing that's really important to understand is the referees will have like patterns they do to shave points. So they started a point shave. At first, I'm like, really, you're going to do this to the Fever? But then I saw they were doing it to everybody. When they fouled out Brittany Griner, that was kind of like, that was a real indicator to me. And I'm like, there's a big problem with the refs on this, because like, this is not cool. But I mean, it was helpful. I was like, cool. It happened last time they didn't win. So I wasn't like, this is an automatic win, but it was helpful. Stephanie White, I do want to officially ask you to marry me after what you did tonight. You really coached a great game. Thank you for coaching a solid game, and thank you for putting the ball in Caitlin Clark's hands when we all knew you needed to do that for the win. You're not winning that game unless Caitlin gets the ball in that possession. You're not winning that game. So thank you, Stephanie White. The invitation is out to marry me. If you're open-minded, let's talk. Let's pop. Caitlin is clutch goat. Just give her the ball. Just give her the ball. And that, man, that's all we're asking. That's all we're asking. We're asking that the person that we're turning this TV on to watch her get the ball. We really are. I love the Fever. I have a real love for this team now. But when she's not on the court, I lose a little focus. Like, I'm not as excited. It's the truth. Now, she can't play every minute, but it is important that Caitlin gets the ball. I thought it was interesting. The strategy to keep her out of the game was interesting. Sorry, I'm having some mic issues here. The strategy. There we go. The strategy for there we go. I'm so awkward with this. The strategy for Stephanie White to keep Caitlin out and give her more minutes out than normal was a little interesting. I think that I might have helped Caitlin. I don't know. I'm not really sure what's going on with her. She's a little tight. She had 31 minutes, which is not Caitlin-like. That was a real cutting of her minutes. So I'm not down with that. She shot 36%. That's not good. She was 4 for 11. She was really pressing. And she was 0 for 5 at the 3. She didn't have a 3. That's interesting. That could, I don't know what her 3 streak is, but that she didn't have a 3. I think the 1 3 she had there was a foul and it was a no play. She was 60% of the free throw line, 3 for 5, which is terrible, but those 3 points were crucial. But her assists, how many? She had 5 assists. No, I'm sorry. She had 4. She had 6 assists, and one of the assists was really crucial. Look, just give the ball to Clutch Goat. That is all we ask. Stephanie White, you got me back. Stephanie, you got me back. I'm back on. Look, let's talk about the Blonde Squad, man. They're bringing the defense. You got Lexi Hole everywhere, man. Lexi's everywhere. She is putting her body on the line. I am so impressed with Lexi Hole. There's not a game where I walk away and I go, she's disappointing. She'll never disappoint you. That's Lexi Hole. She's got a motor. She's got an engine. She's great coming off the bench. She's really good at looking at the game and deciding where to attack it. That is really impressive. That's a gift. It's special. High basketball IQ. And then obviously Sophie Cunningham, the part of the Blonde Squad. She had a monster game coming off the injury. Sophie was the truth, man, on both ends of the floor. She was legit. She even had the ball at the very end. She had the ball at the very end where she had to try to, avoid getting traveled, try to burn that clock. That's who you want on the floor at the end. Veteran experience. Let's see here. She played 20 minutes. I love that. Let's see here. And 3 for 6. A little shaky on the shooting. She was 50% though on her field goals. And she was 2 for 4 at the 3-point line. She had a couple of threes. I love that. She had a clutch 3, 50% at the 3-point line. I love that. She was 1 for 2 at the stripe. They all need to work on these free throws. I'm not really sure what the problem is. It just could be chemistry. They're shaky. They're amped. There's a lot of pressure on these ladies to win. There is a lot of pressure. That's important down in the clutch. But man, Sophie is the truth. We knew she'd make the difference. Now, here's something I have to say about that. Sophie coming to play and play hard. It made me rethink how critical I was of the game last. Sorry, I'm so like I have to stop. It made me rethink. Got to work on this. It made me rethink how critical I was of the game. Did I say last week? The game, because I'm used to football. It made me really critical of the game a couple of days ago because I just thought they played so terrible. But now, which they did, but what I'm learning is that they didn't have their full complement. They weren't at full power. They had injuries. So the Dream played an injured team essentially because now that we see Sophie come in and make such a difference, she is a major component to this team. So if you don't have her, you are lacking. Didn't realize that until now. Important. So we now know that if she's hurt again, if she's not playing, there's a lot of these players, if they're hurt, it's going to make a difference. You name them. But if she's not playing again and she's hurt, that is a consideration, and they have to make adjustments. Stephanie was able to adjust herself to her mistakes and that coaching staff and play a really smart, coach a really smart game. They got out coached by this cat a couple of days ago. Didn't happen today. Oh, sorry, that's my alarm. I have some things I got to do. Okay, we're gonna wrap this up in 5. Kelsey Mitchell. I can't. I didn't have a graphic for her, but I just got to say, Kelsey is. I have a love-hate with Kelsey. Like, I was screaming when she hit that, when she missed that shot that was critical. I'm screaming when she hits that clutch shot. I'm like, God damn, man, without Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark, you're losing this game. Without everybody, you're losing this game. So Kelsey, hats off to you. She played really well. She had 27 minutes, 7 for 19. She did take a lot of shots. She was 36%. So she was shooting them out. They were having a tough time on the road with threes. And that happens. Again, it's early. I'm not going to give them an excuse for it being early. Kelsey Mitchell's a veteran, 11 years or 12 years or something. But it is early. It's shaky. There's a lot of pressure on this team. Caitlin had an air ball on a 3. She was hitting them short. It was just weird. It was a weird night. I think it's just pressure. It really is psychological. Kelsey, 1 for 6 for threes. Yeah, that 1 3 she hit was so critical. But that's what you get with Kelsey. You get no, yeah. That's what you get with her. You get her shooting the worst shots at the worst times, but she'll hit them. And thank God. So after tonight, I'm back on the train. I didn't want her to get picked up again. I thought she just shoots them out of games. but she adjusted. She learned from her mistakes. And look, hard work pays off. She was 50% at the free throw line, 2 for 4. Weird. So Kelsey and Caitlin, who are both really great at the stripe, struggled a little bit. And it was what was crazy is it was at the time where you just needed to put them away, and they just couldn't add those extra easy points to put them away. But that is the difference between a great team and a very good team. Right now, they're a very good team. A great team hits those shots, and it's automatic. But I'll say this, though. Kelsey missed one, and Caitlin missed. They both missed their first ones. I mean, Caitlin had 2 shots, two trips to the line, and wasn't 100%. But when Kelsey missed her first one, I'm like, you got to hit this one, man. You got to hit it. Like, there's no excuse. And you can see her like, say, I'm fine. And she nailed it. Caitlin the same. So that's what you get from these ladies. These ladies are clutch, man. They're both clutch. Kelsey Mitchell is extremely clutch. Another observation, the defense was so legit. So legit, man. I loved it. They were swarming Grindhouse. There was maybe just one easy bucket. Grindhouse got early. Howard made the adjustment. Howard worked really hard. I can't take away from Howard. We'll talk about Howard in a second, but that defense was legit. The defense was legit. Had everything to do with everybody. If I was going to give you guys the defensive GOAT award, it would go to everybody except Caitlin. I got to tell you, sometimes she's a liability defensively. She's just not that player. I don't know if she'll ever be that lockdown player because she thinks offensively first. A lot of the other players think defensively and then look for their shots. But look, it's cool. It's Caitlin. She can do whatever the fuck she wants, man. Don't play any defense, as far as I'm concerned. You can't stop her, man. But Caitlin, so she's out of that competition. But I got to say, I'll give the defensive GOAT award to the Blonde crew. They both played amazing. Now, let's talk about this. Dantas. Let's talk about Dantas. Like, so excited to see Dantas come in and really make a difference. Really got those rebounds. Now, early, first quarter, it was like, we're not rebounding. Okay, cool. I guess that's the thing tonight. But Dantas got in there and just really started pressing. When Boston was playing like a Boston cream pie night, she was soft and gushy and just couldn't get, she was not able to establish a thing. Not a good game for her and Caitlin, but she was clutch at the end as well. She had a nice little layup. They were focused. When I think Stephanie lets Caitlin go, and I think when the players are really, they're really wanting to please this coach. They're wanting to please, they want to win. They want to make everybody happy. They want to make the coach happy. They want to make the coach look good. They know it's important because the coach is going to get really criticized if they struggle. So they're a little overcoached. I think that's where the tightness comes in. Caitlin's is different. Caitlin, I think, Caitlin's trying to be coached. I think she has a hard time being reined in, and that makes her game struggle. She's just so different. But everyone else, they're really trying to, Caitlin's coaching them on the side. They've got all these coaches, all these voices. You know, you got your veterans, DBs coaching them. DB had a really good game. These ladies really redeemed themselves. I'm super impressed. But anyway, I just think, and then the coach is pressing. I just think that they all kind of relaxed a bit. I think a win is always good for the soul. Winning is always good. That's super important for me. So Dantas was key. Dantas came in when Boston really couldn't put that pressure on that. They're just tough. Dream are tough. They're a tough team. This is a team that will be, I think, in the playoffs. I don't see any reason to think they won't because they don't play dirty. You know that they play chippy, they play edgy, but they do not play dirty, and I like that. Now, Franken-Grinder does. When Caitlin got hit in the mouth with the elbow, and then the announcers were like, "Oh, Caitlin was flopping," then they amended it and said, "Oh no, that elbow did." And I watched it again, and I'm like, that the replay, because Amazon Prime, you can't rewind it. I fucking hate Amazon Prime. Watching games on Prime is so dumb. They make you watch it live like that's old school. You should be able to rewind that shit or pause it, but whatever. But like Franken-Grinder, that's, she's a monster. She threw that elbow on and hit Caitlin in the face. Like I saw it. So she's a little dirty, but that's Phoenix. Phoenix is super dirty. Tarasi, she's trying to get that out of her system. But shout out to Baby Goat. Tarasi's Baby Goat. She'll never be the GOAT. Shout out to Baby Goat. But Frankengrinder is a little dirty, but that team is not dirty. Not like the Sky. Different story. Or Dallas. They're dirty. So let me some Dantas. Shout out to Howard. Oh, that graphic should be lower, but anyway, shout out to Howard. Howard, thank you, graphic gods. Howard played like an all-star, shook off the worst game anyone should ever have last week. For Howard, there's no excuse for that game she had, but man, she was a stud. A stud. Really impressed. Couple of moments I was like, come on now, you got to hit those, but reined it in and had some really clutch moments and hit a nice clutch layup. Can't take away from Howard. I cannot take away from Howard. So there you goes, guys. I gotta split. This is a short game. This is a short show. I have some things got to do tonight. But on the recap, let's recap if you're joining me late. Caitlin Clark and the Fever, Game 3, win 81-76. Clutch GOAT. Little typo there. Sorry, guys. Caitlin is clutch GOAT. That's and she Stephanie White put her in a situation, called a great timeout. Had plenty of timeouts. It was almost like she just listened to all the criticism and said, I'm going to fix it. But see, our criticism was easy criticism because it was like fundamental coaching. So she didn't need us to tell her to fix it. She fixed it. And it was really impressive. Hats off to Stephanie White. Hats off to Caitlin Clark for hanging in there. The announcers even said she's having a tough game. Let's see how she responds. She did. She won the game. She put the stats aside. She's not a stat person. She's a winner. That's what you need. She had they called the timeout when they needed to establish they knew they could win this game right here. They call a timeout, they give it to Caitlin. She can't get she can't shoot the good defense. So she draws everybody to her because she's that dangerous. She distributes the ball for the assist, and that assist she got, number 6 assist, was huge, and that was the go-ahead. That was it. And then from there, they just played a really smart game, slowed it down, and played really fundamental fourth quarter clutch winning basketball. Impressive win. You would not see that last year. Christy Sides could not coach like that. So I see what they see in Stephanie White, and I want to see more of that, and so do you. So, guys, thanks for watching. My name is Jason J. Daniel. There's the recap. This is the Jason J. Daniel Show. I do other things, but I also do after game for the Fever. So subscribe, please. If you like this show, subscribe on YouTube and Rumble. You can see my archive. I have all the shows archived. I'm going to do a post-game show after every show. And when we get into the playoffs, which we will, that'll be exciting. So you can check out all my other shows on the other games. And please follow and sub everywhere. I'm everywhere, Jason J. Daniel. Now, if you love sports, I do a lot of Fever and NWA. I do a lot of Fever, and I do a lot of WNBA on my TikTok. 8,000 followers. Please subscribe and check out my TikToks. Really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. That's real Jason J. Daniel. Coach Goat on TikTok. And that's it, guys. Have a great night. What a fantastic game. Again, excited. I was just shouting. I was screaming. Again, Indianafever. I dream of Caitlin. I was dreaming for that. I was dreaming that Caitlin would actually win a game in the fourth quarter, and I got what I was dreaming about. The Caitlin's dream, my dream was the nightmare for the dream today. And so the Fever win. Game 3, 81-76, a very nice victory. Go Fever. See you on the flip side, guys. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. Always appreciate you.